I've always been blind, and that's fine by me. I'm glad I never got to see and then lose my sight. That would have been too depressing. Instead, I don't get to mourn something I've never had. I've lived in this Upper East Side flat for a really, really long time. As a writer, it's important for me to have my own space. I've been told my writing style is exquisite. Because I cannot see, I focus on the other senses and my writing shines by stimulating them. I don't say a red apple. Red has no meaning for me. I say warm, firm, and sour, a bit sweet, fits in your hand, smells of grass and childhood. I'm not gonna lie, this flat was nice for a while, but really tiny. And I want to learn to play the piano, so naturally, since I've saved up a lot of money for my works, I bought this beautiful mansion in the suburbs. At least, that's how my friends and family called it. I don't care, I can't see anyway. I just needed to feel the warm sunlight in the kitchen and the crisp air from my balcony while I drink my coffee in the morning and listen to the birds. And I work, day and night. People thought it would be a problem if my house had an upper floor because, according to them, even if I've lived my whole life blind, I cook, chop up things, take baths, and clean the house, I apparently can't climb some damn stairs. No problem for me. I counted the steps of my staircase. 14. Eventually, I got used to it, and I even stared going up and down the stairs faster, since I knew exactly how many steps I needed to climb. That's the thing when you're blind. Some movements become reflexes. Since you live alone, you learn how to position certain things, and you always find them in the same place. One day, however, I was going down the stairs, and I tripped. Where I expected the floor to be, there was this additional step, and I didn't think much of it. Figured I must have not paid attention. I mean, yes, it was odd, because after 30 years of being blind, tripping wasn't really a common thing, but I didn't look much into it. However, when I went up again, I tripped at the top. That was definitely unusual. Sure as it was one extra step, I went back the stairs and counted. 15, counted again. 14, the fuck? Sure enough, 14 step, whatever. I went to sleep, but a few days passed and I didn't trip anymore. I played it off as some error my tired mind made. Then one night, as I went downstairs to get a glass of water, I tripped again. This time I really fell down on my foot. That was not a skipped step. There were at least 2 additional steps. I felt around and stood up. My foot hurt a lot, but the ankle was good. I couldn't really stand up on it, but no serious damage. I went up, carefully counting. 16, what the fuck, sure you mess up, you count 1 more or 1 less. But 2 more? The house was so still, so silent. No birds, no bees, no cars passing. Normal people fear the darkness. I feared the silence. I went down the stairs again, counting. By the time I reached the bottom, I counted 14 again. I went up again. 18. That was absolutely ridiculous. Was someone messing with me? How could they even mess with me like that? I've never heard of a burglar to break into someone's house and add steps to their stairs. Still, I went to check to see if I locked the door. I can make my way around pretty neat. Went through the kitchen, then into the hallway, and then I bumped into something. I froze. My organs tensed up, my hairs stood up, all ears. I had never felt so much fear in my life. Decided to go on and check the door. Yeah, locked. I made my way back upstairs, and this time I didn't bump into anything. Or anyone. 18, for fuck's sake. All night, all I did was go up and down like a lunatic. Each time I got different results. Back upstairs, I decided to go down and make one final count. 14, okay. It is probably going to be more. 15, nope, still going. 17, 19, 21, that's a record. 27, 33, that could not be possible. 52, 88. I could absolutely feel this sense of impending doom. Something was there with me, and it was vile, disgusting, and unnatural. And this staircase was never ending. 102. I finally gave up. Whatever this was, I didn't want to reach the bottom. I went back up. The moment I turned my back to go up, I tried to be brave, but something got over me and I ran on all fours, desperate to reach the top, desperate to run back to my bedroom. I don't remember how I got inside and locked my door, but I did. And now I'm sitting here and typing. This house is strange. It is eerie and disturbing. And I think if I'd gotten to the bottom of the staircase, I would have left this world. I don't think that was my house anymore. However, no matter what stupid, cryptic, eerie, unnatural staircase I unveiled, it is important not only that I don't go down there, but that nothing comes up either. And right now I can hear it creaking. As I typed out the first post, actually dictated it, I would stop from time to time to listen. The creaking was not consistent and almost imperceptible. A normal person couldn't probably hear it, but my remaining 4 senses were overly sharpened. I guess what scared me most was the silence in between. I'd speak to dictate, I'd hear the creaking. I'd stop. The creaking would stop too. It was almost as if it was mocking me. I didn't want to think of the thing I'd bumped into. Felt like bumping into a coat rack or something, but I didn't stop to feel around. I have a consistent urge to flee any dangerous situation I'm in because I know I can't fight it. Even if I were fast, even if I were strong, I can't fight something I don't fully understand. They could be standing right in front of me, and if they were still enough, I wouldn't know. As I finished writing, I reached for my phone. I figured I'd call my sister. I was starting to feel the warmth of the morning light on my shoulders through the windows and hear some birds. Judging on how stiff I felt, I must have been up all night. The creaking had stopped. Had it made its way up to my door? Was it standing on the other side? Hey Siri, call Daphne. My voice sounded so hoarse. Usually, I talk to myself a lot. I sing, whatever, I play music. This time, I'd been so quiet, so afraid to make a sound, so afraid to breathe. The phone was ringing. Hi there, you good? It's kinda early. What time is it? Like 6 a.m. Damn, I'm sorry. Everything okay? I stopped. Slowly, I crept up to the door and placed my ear on the oak wood to listen. I could feel someone's presence outside, waiting. I think someone broke into my house, and they're being very discreet about it. I've started noticing things, unusual stuff. I trip when I shouldn't, and last night I bumped into something like a coat rack. What? Are you sure? Yes, and the staircase kept creaking. Right now I've locked myself into the bedroom, but I think it's waiting on the other side of the door. Fuck, that's so creepy. I have to be at the office at 9, but I'll phone in if I'm late. I'll come check it out. Thanks. Do you have a key? Silence. Daph, do you have a key? No. Why, didn't I give you one? You did, but I didn't take it. I felt weird having a key to your house. For fuck's sake. Whatever, just come. I'll fucking go downstairs again and let you in. Okay, stay safe. Yeah, whatever. I hung up and sat on the floor back against the door waiting, listening. Nothing was going on. Did I scare it off? She texted me she had 10 more minutes until she got to my place. Okay, fuck. Finally, I stood up and unlocked the door. I stood there in silence for a while. My options were very limited. Normal people could literally look around and make out if they were alone or not. I couldn't. All I could do was listen. And if whatever was there was being really still, really silent, my worst option was to feel around. That terrified me. I've talked to others, and something similar for them was sticking their hand out in complete darkness. The thought of touching that thing made my skin crawl. That direct contact was so unbearable and so much more dangerous. But I had no choice, because everything was silent. So I stuck my hands out. My heart raced with every step. I wanted to keep going, but at the same time, I wanted so badly to stop and turn around. Made my way to the stairs. 14 steps, back to normal. I was barefoot, and the hardwood floors felt so cold, so unusual against my skin. I thought that bothered me until I stepped into something sticky. You, fuck, what the fuck? I gagged and wiped my foot on the carpet. I was gonna ask Daphne what that was. Made it to the door without any other occurrences. I unlocked it and was greeted by the familiar voice of my sister. Hi, oh God. I'm so sorry you have to go through this. I'm ready to call 911, dialed up and everything. I'll take a look. I wanted Ryan to come too, but you know how it is with him and work. I felt her warm hands around mine and her sweet perfume. Thank you. It's such a comfort to have you here. Yeah, no problem. Please take a look. Tell me if you notice anything unusual. And, I stepped into something sticky in the living room. Please tell me what it was. Okay, I will. Let's see. I heard her pace the room carefully without saying a word. Silence. So, what is it? Anything weird? Silence. Why wasn't she speaking? It's nothing alarming. It's just odd. What did I step on? First of all, that is jam. Jam. Yeah, jam. Are you sure? Yep. There's a jar on your counter, opened. Maybe you forgot about it? No, I did not fucking eat jam. What? Well, it's nothing, but things are a bit out of order. How? You're usually pretty neat. Right now it's a bit of a mess, but weird. You've got a pan on the floor and this painting propped up on your dinner table taken from the wall. A pile of clothes spread around almost in a pattern. What the fuck? Go upstairs and check too. I could tell she didn't want to based on her hesitation. Eventually, I heard her climb the stairs and walk around a bit. So anything, please speak. There's nothing weird upstairs, and no one, anywhere. It's pretty neat. That bothered me for some reason. How neat? Well, the usual. Bed made, things in order. My bed is made? Yeah, I didn't make it. I was literally sleeping in it. Then I woke up to get a glass of water, then the weird shit happened and I locked myself in the bedroom. Didn't stop to make my fucking bed. I mean, it's not perfectly made, like a child tried to. You said no one was there. No one. Call the police. I heard her getting downstairs. Look, I can't. Why not? Someone was definitely fucking around in my house. And tell them what? That someone made your bed, placed your pan on the floor, no signs of forced entry, you didn't get hurt. I bumped into something. In the middle of the night, in the dark. How unusual. Okay, well, someone was definitely there. Look, there's not much I can do. I've checked everything, you're pretty safe. You have no attic, no basement, no back door, windows locked, door locked, you're good. I'll help you clean up and I'll get going. If there's anything weird, call me. Okay. I had to ask her, even though she was going to think I'm crazy. How many steps does my staircase have? What? Count them for me. 14 as usual. Okay, I definitely felt I had flipped a switch with that question because after that question, the way she talked to me changed. She was overly patient, overly calm, kept telling me to put on some music, de-stress, take a bath, listen to one of my audiobooks, and don't panic. I felt an ounce of heartbreak to think my sister didn't believe me, but I moved on. After that, a few days passed when I kept staying alert, but nothing happened. No weird stuff. Everything had gone back to normal. Christmas came and I hosted, had friends and family over, and forgot about how lonely and desolate I'd felt in that house. Maybe I just had an episode of, wandering. Maybe my mind had just been somewhere else. When you live with a disability, sometimes it's hard to stay on track. So what if my mental health had taken a hit? I was aware of it and decided to see a therapist. Months passed and nothing happened. I was happy. My new book had been published and I hadn't felt scared or watched in ages. Things were good. One night I was on the couch, drinking some wine and watching The Bachelor. Well, not exactly watching, but listening. You know what I mean? It's still entertaining. The AC was on and blasting waves of warmth around the house, and I was starting to feel sleepy. I reached out my leg out of the blanket and touched the floor, the cold floor. Reached my hand out and felt the couch. Cold too. This coldness was everywhere. How could it be? I'd had the AC on for the whole evening. Why was it so cold? I reached for the remote and turned the AC up. It wasn't working. Stupid fucking air conditioner. I'm gonna turn it off and on. Modern problems require modern solutions. I told you I talked to myself a lot. So I pressed the big button. The AC beeped. The beep was wrong. It should have been lower. It's higher when it turns on. Was it off this whole time? Couldn't be. I had literally felt its warm breeze on the back of my neck. I stood there in silence, trying to process. It was as if I was just stalling, delaying the moment of realization because I didn't want to. I didn't want to admit someone or something had been breathing on my neck. It was probably still there, but the breeze had stopped. I turned the TV off. I needed absolute silence to focus. I stood there for what felt like hours, listening. The floors didn't creak, but I could almost make out the carpet being pressed. Steps. Normal people wouldn't have noticed. But I did. The steps were irregular. The pattern was weird, the pacing uncoordinated. I heard when it left the carpet, then a thump indicated it was right next to me. The couch shifted. I was over it. People hallucinate. I stuck my hand to the side, ready to feel whatever the fuck was there. I didn't get the chance. Suddenly, the couch shifted back up and I heard a whoosh. The thing had seen me try to reach it and moved. It didn't want me to touch it. Then I heard a click. My TV turned back on. Whatever it was telling me to ignore it. Why? I was not going to sit around and watch TV with that next to me. I was going upstairs. After I counted the 14 steps, for some reason, I knew the 15th would be there. Went back down, 17, and went back up, 19, back down. I was 20 extra steps in and counting when I realized it was not going to end. Stairs were tweaking again. Turned around, went back up into the bedroom, door locked. The TV was still running downstairs. After a while, I heard it turn off. Others would have been terrified. I was relieved. That meant the thing was downstairs and not here with me.